Don't want no long ass hair, don't like your style. Don't need no leather jacket, we're doing fucking fine. We got our baggy t-shirts, we dread our hair. Our wallet chains are hanging, cause we don't fucking care. This ain't no fucking disco, this ain't no fucking Claire. This is the fucking new age, let's see your fucking hands. Cause this is new metal, new metal, new fucking metal.
Thanks for tuning into Heavy, where we bring you the latest interviews with local, national and international artists. Today's victim is...
This is Jack and Manoli from We Burn Bridges. We've got our new single, Death Curse, coming out 1st of September, this Thursday. And I hope you enjoy it. Pretty keen to release it.
I had to listen to it just before, and you should be excited, mate. She's a fucking banger.
Cheers, bro. Cool.
So as you mentioned, We Burn Bridges will release the single Death Curse on September the 1st, which is this Wednesday at 10 a.m. an exclusive preview via Heavy. So tell us a bit about the song musically and what you were going for with it.
So we originally set out to write a rapish, new metalish kind of track with our good friend and ex-band member, BXK, Brandon. So we thought we'd get him on board, get a bit of that sort of rap attitude involved with the song. It's something very new for the band. Like, we've never done anything like that in particular. Like, obviously lots of heavy elements in the song, but that's pretty standard for us.
I actually read the press release before I listened to the song, and it says in there that there's a mixture of new metal and rap in the song. And I remember I was thinking, like, how the fuck are they going to make that work? Like, that really shouldn't go together, but somehow you guys nailed it. Like, how hard was it finding the balance between too much of one and not enough of the other?
Our friend, BXK is super talented in a sense where we pretty much just gave him a clean slate. We knew exactly where we wanted him to be in the song, and we gave him the track, and I think he almost freestyled the entire thing. He's a monster. So we rolled with that. We refined it, went back and forth. But for the most part, like, it was very natural for it to come around.
Are either of you guys a bass player?
No.
His bass lines rumbled like fuck. Like, every time my mate started doing his rapping vocals, his big bottom end just dropped in from the bass. It was fucking amazing. Beautiful, if you can call it that.
Yeah, so true.
Was that actually like planned there from the get-go, or did it come in naturally?
I guess all the instrumentation was sort of, we write it collectively, and it was, it's safe to say we do enjoy bass a fair bit. Like, we like bass guitar. So even in our previous songs, we've got a lot of parts that are very bass heavy, I guess. And
bass driven.
Yeah, exactly.
And lyrically, the song's pretty fucked up, boys. Like, what's actually going on there?
It was kind of cool with this song, because a few of the latest tracks, like the other single we released a few months ago, Predator, we were all in the room kind of writing the lyrics together for the first time. And we've kind of just channeled some of the old school horror clips, obviously, like Predator being one, and just kind of rolled with it. And originally, I must admit, same thing. Like, we kind of thought it was like, oh, is this a bit too full on? But we just kind of had fun with it, you know. Like, it's just kind of, as much as the lyrics are kind of heavy and almost dark, it's just kind of the movies we enjoy watching, and we kind of laugh about it, if anything. So it's a weird. It is very strange, because we've had that a bit. People say that it's quite dark, but we almost don't really see it as dark, because that's what we are really into, I guess.
I feel like a really cool part of this song is we treated it as if it wasn't old school horror, in a sense of like acts. So, like, you start out the song, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, etc. And, like, obviously Act 3 being the climax of the horror, you know, the final kill. And we try really portray that in the instrumentation as well. And all the different parts. Like, it's not your standard verse, chorus kind of setup. So we try to channel that in the song.
So the album was actually produced and mixed in-house by yourself, Manoli. So is that like an easy thing to do? What are some of the pros and cons of it? Because I couldn't imagine it'd be too easy having to analyze and dissect your own material?
I feel like working on my own music's super tough. You need to almost stay not biased with a lot of things, and you need to, you just need to act as if it's not your own work. So it's super tough, but very much getting used to it because I've done the previous single, so this is the second time. This is basically my second release. And having fun with it, man. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now you've got the two songs out. You've got Predator and Death Curse. So are they just standalone singles for now, or have you got something bigger planned?
Yeah, so they will be standalone singles. We've got some other stuff in the works coming up that may be probably part of either an EP. Well, yeah, not an album, but an EP. At the moment, we've honestly just kind of been enjoying ourselves with the music and creative side of stuff. So doing a bit of drip feeding to kind of build a bit of presence again after the break from COVID and that kind of stuff. But definitely have some more stuff coming up as well. This is just a bit of a bit of a drip feed and a bit of a something we've just kind of wanted to do for a little while, I guess.
And only a couple of days ago, We've Bridges supported In Heart's Wake as part of their national tour when they played in Darwin, mate. That must have been a fucking rip tear of a night.
That was incredible, yeah. That was such a fun night. Not only was it cool to see the other bands play alongside them, but I later found out that I think we were one of the only local support acts on that whole tour, which was really cool to find out. And so it was awesome. All the guys on the tour came out and saw our set as well, which was really nice. And yeah, we had an absolute blast. Everyone was so friendly. It was a great night.
So as a younger and sort of more emerging band, like in situations like that, how do you treat them? Like, do you enjoy the moment for what it is? Do you sort of sit back and learn? Do you ask questions? Like, is there a set way to go about it, I guess?
Whenever it's probably the second time this year we've gotten the opportunity to play alongside, in estate bands. And it's whenever we watch them, we always, we're obviously having a good time, but we really like to pay attention to, what they're doing differently to us. Analyze what they're doing on stage musically, not necessarily musically, but more as performers. Yeah. It's because it's really cool to see the standard. Obviously that's where the bar is. These bands, In Heart's Wake, obviously being as big as they are, really cool to just kind of watch them in the flesh and watch these other bands in the flesh that do tours all the time and tour the world basically. So us little local fellas, it's really cool to just analyze that and and bring it into our own sort of home and go from there. Definitely.
So you guys come from Darwin, which to those people outside of Australia who might not be familiar is a fucking long walk to the shops, man. But it's a long way from the action there, and it must get frustrating for you. But there's the quote I read from you guys recently that was pretty cool, mate. Like, you said that your aim is to raise the flag for the city as a stop for touring artists. Like, it's a beautiful way to put it. Like, you must be pretty isolated for choice up there, I guess. And do you think it actually has an effect? Do you think it's worked?
Well, it was awesome, like, just speaking to In Heart's Wake, Red Hooks, Banks Arcade, Pride Lands, all those guys basically said that. They said, like, there's no reason why bands shouldn't be stopping in Darwin. There's venues to be played, there's people that'll come out, and, people want to see live music, especially up here. We love it, and I think the crowd loves it. And there's just, cost is always a factor, which I definitely understand. And that's probably why we've not really pushed to do any touring as of yet. That hopefully will come in the future, definitely. But there's absolutely no reason why bands shouldn't be coming up here, I don't think. And I guess, you can think about potentially relocating to maybe down south to a bigger city to try and, push your presence and stuff. But at the same time, I just don't think there's any reason why bands shouldn't be up here and spreading their name through Darwin as well as we are.
If it's done right, like, for example, this past gig with In Heart's Wake, that was a sold out show.
Yeah.
In one of sort of definitely an underground venue in Darwin, but one of the probably biggest underground venues, I guess. So it's sold out. So if it's done right, everyone can have a good time, sort of thing. No one's at a loss. Yeah.
So, not just as a band, but as lovers of music in general, I guess, guys, like, what sorts of things do you think can be done to make people aware that Darwin is a place, it's a viable place to tour, it's a good place to go and play music, and that there's people there that will actually support it?
Yeah, that's a good question. And honestly, I reckon we're still kind of figuring that out a little bit, to be completely honest. Like with this new kind of tactic, as I said before, like drip feeding some singles to kind of just let people know that we're active and working on stuff again, playing as much shows as we can play and people will come out and see us. And then I guess socials is a big thing now, like trying to stay as active as possible, keep content and people interested. But yeah, I guess that's probably the main way. I would think it is tough because, you know, it's not like we do have those touring bands come through all the time. So we have to look at setting up local shows, which is fine. It's just, yeah, putting that work in and making it happen for us.
All right, boys. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We Burn Bridges will be releasing their new single, Death Curse, in a heavy premiere at 10 a.m. this coming Wednesday, and it'll be released to the general public on Thursday. So she's a cracker of a fucking song, guys. Well done, and look forward to catching up soon.
Legend. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Like I'm stuck with a voodoo, who knew? Tracking a rap with a phone in my hand that he used for YouTube or a new scoop. Oh shoot, taking a lesson, switching rhythm and record, never burning the bridge, and even just for a second, better check your profession. If you step up and get a bit of time left, so I'm gonna say it.